everybody, Jeri Bellini here today from my Arts and Parts, and what you're looking at right now is something that I think is called a penny circle. I'm not really sure. If you know what one of these is called, please leave me a message in the comments below. I do know that collectively, when they are stitched together, they are called penny rugs or penny table runners. So it just makes sense to me that one would be a penny circle. Okay, I digress. Anyway, I made a video quite a while ago and I was using these on the back. It was my paper flower video, and I will leave a link for that if you're interested. Anyway, I was using these on the back of my paper flowers, and a viewer watched and was very intrigued by them and private messaged me and said, could you tell me where I could find more information about these things that you made on the back of your flower? She said, I think you called them penny squares. And I think she's right. I think in the video I called them penny squares. Anyway, I did a little research, and that's when I realized I had no idea what they're really called. So here I am. Thank you, Nathalie, because she's the one that got me to pull my penny circles out and show you guys how to make them. So the first thing, and I have a funny feeling that Elizabeth, you're going to want to make these too. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is get your shape, okay? Because you need 3 different sizes. Let's do one that's got 3 different colors. 3 different sizes, large, a medium, and a small. So you can use, you know, some kind of cap. And I have this round bottle cap. I have this, it was on laundry or fabric softener, and then this thing. So I got my 3 sizes with that. You're going to need some freezer paper. Now, I'm not going to put this totally in the camera view because I know the camera does not like white. It's got freezer paper, has a shiny, slick side on one side, and it's a flat, matte surface on the other. I'm a quilter. I was a quilter for so many years. We used freezer paper all the time when we were doing applique projects. Why we liked it so much is this waxy finish. When you heat it, it melts, and so it will adhere your fabric to the freezer paper. All right, what is she talking about? So here's the piece of freezer paper. I'm just going to show you a little piece of it. And this is 100% felted wool. Now, you can get felted wool lots of places. You can buy it in nice little stacks already cut out into squares. You can go to the thrift store and look for recycled, you know, something to recycle, some kind of clothing. This happened to be a blazer, and I cut it apart. You have to wash it if you're going to recycle. Wash it in hot water with some soap and then put it in the dryer. But if you don't want to be bothered with any of that, there's people all over the internet selling 100% felted wool. In fact, I have tons of it. If you are interested and you want me to make you a little package, just say the word in the comments and I will put them in my Etsy store. I'm supposed to be downsizing, so it would help me to get rid of some of it. All right, so anyway, so back to the freezer paper and the fabric. So you would take your fabric and with the shiny side up, and I'm not going to do this on camera because it's very simple to explain. And you would put your, in this case, it's going to be the 100% wool down, and you're going to take a hot, dry iron, and you're going to press this. What it's going to do, it's going to stick this felted wool to your freezer paper, and it's not going to stick it that you're never going to be able to get it off. It's going to stick it just so that you can then take your shapes, put them on your wool, and take a Sharpie or whatever and draw around the shapes, okay? And just fill up your whole piece of wool with several different sizes of your shapes. Then take your piece of wool, go over to your favorite chair and put your YouTube channel on that you want to watch, or a movie, and get a nice sharp pair of scissors and cut your circles out. Let's fast forward. Here we are. Here's my circles all cut out, different sizes, different colors, and right, they're ready to go. Okay, so now, oh, let me just tell you that this freezer paper comes off really easily. See, just peels right off, and it doesn't wreck anything, and that's why I love it so much. So we're going to pick 3 different colors, and here's one stacked together that looks really nice. This teal, pink, and green. Okay, and now that we've got our 3 colors put together, we can stitch this together. And I am going to show you how to do, this is called the buttonhole stitch. I'm going to attempt to show you how to do this in this video. You're going to need a needle with a sharp end and a decent size, oops, see, we're getting too close to the light, a decent size hole, all right, because you are going to also need some embroidery floss. So it has to fit through this hole. All right, I will be right back and show you how to make the buttonhole stitch and how to put these 3 pieces together. Okay, we're back, and we are going to, I'm going to show you how to do the stitching. But before I show you how to do the stitching, I wanted to tell you 2 things. One is to make sure that you peel the paper off of all your circles, okay? So you don't want to be stitching any circles unless they've gotten the paper taken off of them. All right, so that's going to be one. All right, the second thing is that this is your DMC floss, and I want you to pull, ensure that we've got a knot on this one. I want you to pull off about 20 inches and separate it, okay? That's good enough. It is, DMC floss typically is 6 strands of thread put together into one, and I'm only using 3 strands. So you just separate it, just tease it apart and separate it, and then once you've gotten it separated, you just gently pull it apart slowly, and you'll notice that it's twisting, and that if you let it do it on its own, it will spin around. You see this, the thread is spinning around, and just do it gently and let it spin around, and you won't get any knots when you're pulling it apart. And so now you've got 3 strands, and that's what we're going to use, 3 strands. So now that I showed you that, the second thing, or the third thing, I said 2, I meant 3. The third thing I'm going to show you is how to put a knot in the end of your thread, which, you know, pretty much everybody knows how to do that, but this is a way that I've done for many years, and I like it. I always get a nice clean knot at the end, and it's really simple. So I'm going to hold the needle in my, I'm right-handed, in my right hand, and I've got the tail of the thread in my left hand, and now I'm going to put the tail underneath my needle, and I'm going to wrap my thread around my needle 2 or 3 times depending on how big I want my knot, and then I'm going to slide it all the way down with my fingers still pinched, and there's my beautiful knot. And I'm just going to trim off, where are we? Trim off a little bit of the tail to make it nice and neat and tidy. Okay, now it's got a nice, neat and tidy, just want to trim that. Okay, a nice, neat, tidy string to sew. So now we're ready to sew. Are you ready? I hope you're ready. Okay. We're going to do 2 layers at a time. So the first thing we're going to do is come in from the back, the medium. I'm sewing the small one to the medium. So I just came in right along the edge. And this is my point of reference so that I stay on frame. Okay, so I'm going to hold it and I'm going to work to the right, okay? And I don't want to go straight up and down. I want to go from where the point of entry is, you might say, in the medium size circle. I'm going to put my needle slightly to the right of that. So about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, and I'm eyeballing it. And then I'm going down into this small yo-yo and up into the medium one. And I'm pulling, and I'm inside the loop. You see that? I'm inside the loop. And I'm going to pull this taut but not tight. And you want to make sure you keep your finger on this center. Oh geez, now this video my cat's going to talk. I can't win. Okay, the next one, I'm just going to eyeball this. So I'm going to move over. Be quiet, Mr. Baloney. Shh, be quiet. Now I'm going to go over about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch down and up in the same motion, the same movement, inside the loop of thread. Okay, and I'm using green thread so you can see, I hope. All right, and we're just going to keep doing that. So now I've gone over about 1/8 to 1/4, and I'm coming up. You see that? I'm coming up through the medium circle. All right, and you're going to go all the way around and eyeball it. Because if I had to mark all these, I think I'd lose my mind. Always remember to come, your needle has to come up through the loop. Holy smokes, what is he talking about? Okay, see that? See that? Up in between the loop. I tell you what, if you get all these ready and you just sit and stitch this, and it doesn't hurt every once in a while to let go of your needle and let it untwist if it gets twisted on you. This is very peaceful to do this. Okay, down and up inside the loop. All right, I think you got that. Okay, and you basically, you want to make sure that these threads along the edge stay on the edge. You don't want them to, don't pull it so tight that they come up on top of the circle. You want it on the edge. Beautiful, right? Okay, fast forward. Let's get all the way around. Excuse me, Fred. Fred, I said Fred. I meant Betty. What was that all about, Elizabeth? Okay. Yeah. Now we're getting ready to complete the circle. So we've got one more stitch left, I believe, right there. I'm going to go down and come up. And golly gee, guess where I'm coming up? I'm coming up where we started, right next to this stitch where we started. Remember, in the loop, you want to keep this in the loop, pull it up, pull it nice and taut, and then just go straight to finish it. You want to go straight back down, straight down, right there. And I like to turn it over and make a little knot on the back. And that's just the way I do it. I do each section separately. I don't try to do all 3 with the same thread. And that's it. She's done. Okay, so now I'm going to trim this off. And then I sit there and have a conversation with myself. Do I think that's enough thread to do the next round? No. Okay, so now I'm going to do the next one exactly the same way. Okay, and I'm not going to bore you with that and show you how to do that because it's exactly the same way. Go all the way around and then look at that. You've got a finished yo-yo and it's awesome. And that's it. That's all she wrote for today's video. Before I hang up, let me tell you, I've been doing my videos at night just because it's been working out that way for me. And so I am sorry about any of the shadows that you might see. Please forgive me for that. But before I hang up, let me talk to you about what you can do with these yo-yos. You can stitch them together. So you can do another round of this just on the outside edge here. So you're not really attaching anything. And then you can attach these, and I'm going to zoom you out for a second. Oops, I meant out. Now you can see my big mess. And my camera's shaking. All right, so you see we can make a little table runner. Or you can, see, I would try to keep the colors away from one another. Or you can, you know, you can put this in your art journal. You can make a, how you say, a paperclip thing. You know, you can figure out how to put a paperclip on the back of that and use it. Hey, that would be really cute. I'm going to do that. Just stitch that on and maybe put, yeah, come on. That's cute, right? And then just use it in your journal. All right, guys, that's it. If you made it this long, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any requests, I'm happy to oblige. So I hope you all have a blessed day full of love and art, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.